Is PCB a contractable disease? What happens when a red arrow and a green arrow mix together? And can you see the knee? I can see my knee. Can you see your knee? We're going to talk more about that on this week's Monday Night Raw review, powered by Google Hangouts. Prepare to warp.
Oh, hey folks, this is Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're watching WGS-TV. Tough guy.
Greetings, everyone. You have warped your way in from the tubes of you back into another episode of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer. I am the WrestleGamer, Dylan B. and this is going to be the Monday Night Raw review for the week of August 10th, 2015. And joining me on the Raw review this week, ladies and gentlemen, you know him as our resident music mogul over on YouTube.com/LanceMossTV. He is the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how you doing?
I'm doing good. It's finally decided to cool down just a little bit.
Well, we got well, you know, I hate you, man, because it's like still like 100 degrees over here with the heat index.
Well, it's like 81, between like 88 and 90, so it didn't cool off that much, but a little bit more tolerable.
Well, it's cooler over there than it is over here. Let's just put it at that.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get to the Monday Night Raw. First off, the opening segment. The confrontation, which would lead up to the triple threat match between Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and Randy Orton. I thought that was a great opening segment. I'm glad, because as you guys probably heard from last week, I had a personal gripe with fans, actually cheering for the fact that someone suffered a grotesque injury like John Cena did with his nose being shattered every which way but Sunday, and fans were actually happy that something bad happened to another human being. And I'm just glad for once that, when Rollins once again brought it up, that fans actually didn't go, oh, yay, somebody that we hate got hurt and can't provide and can't do his job that he's passionate about. Yay! And I'm glad about that. However, I will give points to Rollins, Lance, for bringing up the rap thing. Especially, he was making bombshell almost after bombshell. It's like whenever Straight Outta Compton came out, the memes and the parodies and stuff like that just kept coming out left and right. And Seth Rollins was no exception to that. He was doing it too.
Yeah, and since I was not here when Cena got hurt, I just have one thing to say about that. At least his girlfriend knows good plastic surgery.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Definitely. What do you think about Monday Night Rollins? You think that was good? Do you think they might put that on a t-shirt?
Probably, because didn't they put Welcome to Raw is Jericho on a t-shirt?
Oh, yeah, they definitely did. They definitely did. Now, one of the things that I referenced in the opening of this week's Monday Night Raw review was PCB. Now, the reason that being is when WWE creative tried to name the team, because we had Team B.A.D, Beautiful and Dangerous, Team Bella, but there wasn't a name, sort of, for Paige, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. Now, originally well, like I said, originally they were going to go with the submission sorority. However, somebody in WWE Creative wasn't doing their homework and checking all of their facts to make sure that name wasn't taken somewhere. And evidently, it was taken somewhere. Apparently, there are a lot of BDSM fans out there who actually have a website called that. And so WWE decided to chuck that out the window. I'm pretty sure that website was sad because it loses all of its free advertising and publicity. And now WWE's for the meantime decided to call Paige, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch Team PCB. And when I hear that, Lance, that sounds like a new brand of Captain Crunch.
Either that or a new circuitry part. But I actually think they should have went with Paige's idea, Team Freak Show. I personally like that.
It could be. Now, this was a really good Six Divas tag match, and one of the positive ways that you can tell that this was a good match is that the crowd was actually into this match. The crowd was on their feet. They were actually into it, and that really shows a definitive improvement in the Divas division. Now, I wish we would have our our former king of the divas, right? The James and the Big Easy, but James has moved on to better things, and for the time being, so I'm pretty sure he would like to have chimed in on the subject. But like I said, I firmly believe that the Divas division has really stepped up and started to improve, especially with the addition, Lance, of the NXT Divas.
Oh, most definitely. And this is what happens when you get women, when you get divas who can actually know how to wrestle, and not just supermodels they bring in the company and then send them down to NXT to teach them how to wrestle. That's just my personal opinion on that.
The official finish of this match is Tamina was attempting a super kick on Brie Bella. She would counter it with a roll-up to pick up the win, and then it would end out once again in a big diva brawl. And I believe that at SummerSlam there's going to be a triple threat tag match with featuring these three teams for SummerSlam. I'm not exactly sure as to that.
I think it's going to be three teams, three divas each, elimination style, I believe.
Also be like triangle style almost, but
like a triangle Survivor Series type deal.
Up next, we would have New Day and Los Matadores. I have no idea what they're doing with the tag team division until they make the announcement that it's going to be a fatal four-way at SummerSlam for the tag team titles. My only gripe about this is why was the Ascension included on this? Because it's primetime players, Los Matadores, New Day, and Lucha Dragons. So why are the Ascension? Why is Connor and Victor getting the shaft?
Well, Billy, best way I can put that is that's like saying, why is Zack Ryder getting the shaft in the WWE title picture? Because they have been treating the Ascension like freaking jobbers since they came in, since like week 3. While they're talented, they just got buried.
Oh yeah, definitely. Why didn't you go on the dollar store? Up next, guys, the big triple threat match that Triple H made, with the winner going on to face Seth Rollins in the main event for a Monday Night Raw. Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and Randy Orton. Lance, what a triple threat match this was.
Oh, most definitely. You had spots out of everywhere. I was a little bit disappointed with the actual result that Randy Orton won, because personally, I think I would have liked to see Steen Rollins or Cesaro Rollins give it a little bit of that indie flair to it a little bit, because we've seen Rollins and Orton, 2-3 times already?
Yeah, but in the long haul, they really used the World Heavyweight title match for another reason, and we'll talk about that when we get to it. But man, it was a decent finish. I mean, a pair of RKOs to Cesaro and Owens for Orton to pick up the win. A very decent match, and I gotta say, probably best match of the night. Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper. All right, and something I gotta say, my twin sister brought it up to me last night, because apparently she's got followers on Twitter or keep saying that, oh, the Shield's going to get back together at SummerSlam and whatnot. Okay, they said that about Elimination Chamber. They said that about Money in the Bank. And did it happen? No. Will it happen at SummerSlam? No. Now, will there possibly be new members of the Wyatt family that the rumors are going out there? I could see Eric Rowan returning. You know, if he's rehabbed and he's ready to go, Lance, I could see Eric Rowan possibly making a return at SummerSlam to help give the Wyatt family the win. Oh, and I lost Lance without I've been knowing. Now,
what the hell happened?
Hey, it's Google Hangouts. Go figure. You know, the only thing that's probably worse than Skype. Yeah, and we said that about you, Google, while we're using you. Anyway, Luke Harper and Dean Ambrose, very quickly to reiterate my point, there's a huge rumor going around that there's going to be new members of the Wyatt family. You know, at one point, Leo Kruger's name showed up. That's Adam Rose, for those of you who don't know. But if anything, Lance, I would think if Eric Rowan is ready to go and he's healed up and WWE Medical and has him cleared to go, I would not be surprised to see him at SummerSlam helping the Wyatt family get the win.
True, but if they do another member, this is actually where I'm expecting it myself. Kind of like how they reunited Brie and Luke Harper. This is where I kind of see it happening, but that's just me.
Now, if it's a new member, do you think the rumors might be true about Leo Kruger?
Yes.
Yeah, but there's also another thing to factor into that, is that he and Brad Maddox are doing a new little thing on, and I know you probably know what I'm talking about. They're doing their own little new tag team gimmick of sorts, where they're calling themselves, like, if you guys remember the American Males from WCW, kind of combined the American Males, which was Scotty Riggs and Marcus Bagwell, combine that with Billy and Chuck, and you get what Brad Maddox and Leo Kruger are doing at WWE live events. I think that's probably right there, Lance, the perfect analogy to describe them.
Please, dear God, don't do that.
I sense the headache coming in. Anyway, officially with this match, Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper. It was Luke Harper with the discus clothesline on Ambrose to pick up the win. Miz TV with Daniel Bryan as his special guest. Did we find out any new further information about Daniel Bryan and his possible return to WWE in the ring? No. Did we find out any new information about Daniel Bryan and anything that he's doing as of late? No.
Well, we kind of did. We learned that he has a book he's shilling,
which has been advertised and promoted all over social media and WWE.com for over the past month.
Yeah.
Because basically, whenever I turn on Facebook, you know, there's a big ad. Go Audible.com. You can download Daniel Bryan's new book. So it's not exactly new news when it comes to Daniel Bryan. I think they basically just used him to sell tickets, and you know what? It's not exactly a bad maneuver if you think about it, because Daniel Bryan's name is big in WWE regardless, and he can still sell tickets even though he's not in the ring. His popularity is still booming, as we saw with the crowd reaction to them last night. And Big Show would come in. I got to say, I love his little quip at Miz was good. Like, when my hand goes up, you go quiet. And he was like, and I thought that was funny as hell. I mean, you got to give it to Mike Mizan. That was funny, you know, what he did. And then we get the return of Ryback, basically just to renew what they were supposed to have been doing at Battleground, the triple threat for the Intercontinental title match. And it's good to see. You don't want to see anybody get injured from anything, including Ryback. When you hear that, you know, he had a staph infection in his knee. I've had some family members who've had issues with staph infections. Those are extremely serious to deal with, guys and gals. So never take something like that lightly. That's all I'm going to say about that. Miz, of course, we get thrown into the middle thanks to Daniel Bryan. And then when he's in between Ryback and Big Show, that look that he had on his face, I got it. It's like a face. Lance, the only way I could describe that look is the holy shit look, you know?
Yeah, or if for those of us who are old enough to remember, it's Raggy Roro.
Oh, God. Where's the Scooby-Doo chase theme music when we need it? Anyway, I have a question for you guys. And Lance, you posed this question to me last night on Facebook when it comes to this situation. It was Rusev taking on Mark Henry. Yawn. That's my personal feelings about it. Lana was on commentary. And the next thing you know, there was a confrontation between Summer Rae and Lana that spills into the ring and somehow warranted the referee to call for the bell and disqualify Rusev for some inane reason. And I have absolutely, I have no idea why that warranted the bell being rung, Lance. I mean, I think we're still both utterly confused about how Rusev gets disqualified for Summer Rae attacking Lana.
I got nothing.
We really don't know what to say about that, guys and gals. We really don't.
I do. WWE logic once again.
Or lack thereof.
True.
Now, Stephen Amell, for those of you who don't know who this guy is star of CW's Arrow. And I've watched a few episodes of Arrow. It's really, really good. And I catch it whenever I have the opportunity to see it. Because it actually is a good show, and I don't think people are giving it enough credit just because it's on the CW. And CW is not... Basically, the CW is today's UPN, if you know what I mean.
Well, that's what it actually... That's what it... Exactly what it was. UPN was the CW, then it rebranded itself.
Yeah, and I think people are not giving that show and Stephen Amell enough credit for that just because it's on that network. And I still think Arrow is a good show, and people will give it a chance. But now, the reason why I bring up Stephen Amell at this point in time, because if you guys know, they've been doing a Twitter feud as of late between Stardust and Stephen Amell, which eventually was going to lead to something. We kind of figured that out. It was going to lead to something between these two guys, but we weren't exactly sure as to what it was going to lead to. And well, we definitely got a positive affirmation about that last night. See, it was King Barrett versus Neville. Neville would end up hitting the red arrow, hint, hint, on Barrett. Think about this, though, real quick, Lance. King Barrett just got squashed by Neville. That's basically what happened.
Yeah.
And I think one of the big things somebody sent me on Facebook in response to that was, why?
Kind of the curse of being the king of the ring the past few years. You get turned into a jobber, basically.
And I keep saying WWE, drop the freaking king gimmick off of Barrett, put Bad News back on. This was more over than King Barrett was. But anyway, Stardust would come out to attack Neville, which then led to a confrontation between Stardust and Stephen Amell at ringside. Stardust would pie face Stephen Amell back into his chair. Amell would jump the guardrail and start trying to attack him, which warranted security come out to separate them. And then we would get the affirmation backstage that Stephen Amell would sign any documents that he needed to, waiving all liability, that he would be solely responsible for anything that would happen. So at SummerSlam now, it's going to be a tag match. It's going to be Neville and Stephen Amell taking on King Barrett and Stardust. Now, why this isn't just a singles match between Stephen Amell and Stardust, I do have one assumption about that, and they probably don't feel that Stephen Amell possibly could carry the match by himself due to his lack of inexperience in the ring. So I think that's why they have to have him in a tag match with Neville, and with the inclusion of Wade Barrett, King Barrett. That could be the only thing that I can think of, Lance, as to why this isn't just basically a singles match between Stardust and basically the Green Arrow. Yeah,
true. And they're going to try to protect him as much as they possibly can. My question is this: are we going to see more of the Jamie King? I mean, the dude Jamie King or Seth MacFarlane when he hosted Raw and did that whole type deal, or is this going to be more the Karl Malone, Dennis Rodman back in WCW?
Hard to say. It's hard to say because we don't know physically what Stephen Amell can actually do. Because for all we know, probably secretly, he possibly could have been doing some training, behind the scenes that nobody's been aware of. So, but anyway, the main event of Monday Night Raw: Seth Rollins and Randy Orton for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I know a lot of people might have disagreed with the inclusion of Randy Orton into this match, but on the upside to it, holy crap, this was a good match. I mean, I thought this was an amazing match, and the RK, when Randy Orton can basically, he has what I like to call the DDP syndrome. He can pull an RKO or a diamond cutter out of anywhere, and make it scintillating and make it exciting. And man, Randy Orton's RK, it's like whenever Orton and Rollins are in the ring together, Lance, they find scintillating, exciting new ways to execute the RKO. And I think they actually did that again last night on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, most definitely. Granted, the ending was a little quirky, but that's the ending of most Monday Night Raws. You never know what you expect, but yeah.
Yeah, the interference of Sheamus, and fans were on their seat after that RKO, and when they saw Sheamus, they just flat out booed Sheamus almost out of the building. But then Sheamus would attempt to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase after kicking Seth Rollins after attacking Randy Orton on the outside, and before the referee could even ring the bell, Randy Orton would hit the RKO on Sheamus, therefore thwarting his cash-in attempt of Money in the Bank. And that's pretty much how we left off Monday Night Raw this week. So, exciting show, to say the least. It was an interesting show. Now, it's now time for our overall scores and our picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week, guys and gals. And for me, this week's Monday Night Raw, with the fans starting to get more into the storyline, it seems there's been a change in creative direction as of late in WWE, which, in my personal opinion, has done WWE some good. And it's made the shows more interesting to watch. I know another YouTuber, a friend of our Schleg Daddy from OTSR Central, put out a video. WWE and professional wrestling has become boring as of late, and I have to agree to him to an extent. But WWE has made a move. They're starting to change things in their creative direction, which, in my mind, has actually done WWE some good, and they're starting to make some positive things and positive changes when it comes to their creative direction. So overall score on Monday Night Raw this week is going to be a 3.75 out of 5. Best match of the night, I'm going to the triple threat match with Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and Randy Orton. That was an amazing match. Worst segment of the night is going to be a twofer. First off, the referee disqualifying Rusev for summarily attacking Lana, which absolutely made no sense whatsoever. And two, well, I don't know if I want to put it in the same category, but it really just kind of lacked my interest a little bit. I may be a fan of the Arrow, but in the ring, I don't know. I guess only time will tell, but that takedown he did of Stardust was just flat out terrible. That's just my personal opinion about it. So, anyway, that's been my overall score. Lance, over to you. What's your overall score and your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week?
Well, my overall score, I'll give it a 3.75 as well. Best match, I'm going with the two guys in blue jeans and tank tops, Ambrose and Harper, because, well, I'm a little crazy like that, but whatever. Worst match, I got to give it to not the Divas match for once. I got to give it to the 6-man tag between it was the New Day versus Los Matadores, which to me turned out to be the piss break of the night. But anyway, yeah. Botch of the night goes to that referee for disqualifying that match for Lana and Summer Rae getting into it. I don't know what the hell they were thinking there.
I don't think anybody knows. But anyway, guys and gals, what we want to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. What's your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week? We definitely want to know what you guys out there have to say. Be sure to put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links will be provided in the description box below. Lance, what can fans expect to see when they come visit your channel over on youtube.com/LanceMossTV?
Album reviews, I know I've been like a little slacking on those lately, but there really hadn't been anything in the music world that's kind of piqued my interest this year. Oh, I've got a couple I plan on doing, but there's that. NASCAR reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, Redneck Gourmet cooking videos, musical equipment reviews, some rants. Every Wednesday night, this Wednesday is going to be at 6 Central Time. I do Lance Moss TV and Friends, where I broadcast live, and hit me up on Twitter. It's at Lance Moss TV.
Fans, don't forget to check out Double B Plays every day at 9 a.m. Central Time. I'm getting back into it, including the start of Batman Arkham Knight right here on. Yeah, and hint, one of his arch villains is dead at the beginning of the game. I'm not saying who, but all I'm gonna say is he's got a hot and crazy girlfriend. Also, guys and gals, don't forget to check out when I get the opportunity, Mid-South Extreme. Like I've said in past videos, I'm still trying to locate my misplaced memory cards with all the footage that I need to make the videos. So again, guys and gals, with Mid-South Extreme, I do apologize, and please bear with me as I try to locate those missing SD cards. And I'm hoping I didn't lose them in New Orleans, because if I did, I'm screwed. So be sure you check that out when I get the opportunity to put that up. Also, be sure you check out 2 of the videos in the annotations at the end of this video to check out more from WGS-TV. So with that being said, guys and gals, with the incomparable Lance Moss on Lance Moss TV, I am the Wrestle Gamer, Double B Billy Boudreaux, saying we'll see ya at the next Spark Zone.
Started. I can't, as long as I have this in the wings. So wouldn't that be considered a dating relationship?